everybody, I hope you are having a great day and that you are settled in because it is time for my November unboxings. So I don't have anything too wild this month. I pretty much just have all of the usuals. I have skipped one, which I will talk about in a minute because I feel I've skipped quite a few for January as well after all of the themes were announced. And I want to talk to you, I think, if I'm skipping boxes, about why at the beginning of each video. So we'll start with going through what we have for this unboxing. First up, we have both the YA and the adult Fairyloot. I am currently a rep for Fairyloot and they have sent me these boxes to show to you guys in this video, so thank you very much to Fairyloot for that. These are the YA box that has a brand new young adult fantasy or sci-fi release in an exclusive edition with a selection of bookish goodies. And then we also have the adult book only subscription, which is a brand new adult fantasy book in an exclusive edition every month. I also have my other rep box for November, which is of course the Illumicrate box. Thank you so much to Illumicrate for sending me this to open for you guys. Illumicrate are once again a UK based bookish subscription service. Every month you get a brand new hardback release and a selection of bookish goodies. Once again, the book is in an exclusive edition. And if you guys would like to get your hands on your very own Illumicrate after watching this video, you can use my code, which is Becca5, and that will get you a discount on a 3 or 6 month subscription. I do also have a special edition from Afterlight by Illumicrate. So this is the Ali Hazelwood Checkmate Illumicrate edition. A little bit nervous about that one. I'm more nervous than I would be about Ali Hazelwood in general because it's YA. But as we know, this year I've discovered I'm a massive Ali Hazelwood fan, so I had to snap that up. I do also have the November Locked Library box. This one is a subscription that I pay for myself. It is a monthly sci-fi and fantasy subscription. It's book only, it's by HarperCollins, and you once again get a brand new hardback release in an exclusive edition. So my skips for November, I have skipped the Goldsboro book because it's the same as the Locked Library book, which is interesting actually, because they said when they released, like, one of the main selling points for the Locked Library subscription is that you would not find the book that they put in their subscription in any other monthly subscription box. So you could have maybe like a special edition on top of the subscription, but they promised that there would be no doubling up in like monthly subscriptions. But yeah, it's the same one as the Goldsboro one for November. So I skipped the Goldsboro and I decided to get the Locked Library one instead. And then the other one that I have skipped for November is the Afterlight box. So Afterlight is Illumicrate's romance subscription. It's currently bi-monthly, but they have recently announced that in 2024 they're going to be going to a monthly subscription. I don't need a romance hardback every single month, so I am going to be skipping Afterlight a lot more often. Previously I wasn't, but now if it's something that I don't think I'm going to be interested in, I am going to skip, just because when I signed up for that subscription it was quarterly, which I think based on the amount of romance I read was about the right amount, and monthly is just far too much for me, so I'm going to be a little bit more selective about which Afterlight boxes I get in the future. But cracking into the Locked Library, I think you might see me reading a lot of these Locked Library books, or a lot of Locked Library books at some point in the future, because I am not super happy. I haven't super been loving their recent picks, so I feel like I do really need to start holding myself accountable and reading them. If you know, you know. But we'll see how that goes. This one is the one that was doubled up with Goldsboro, and it's gothic, I think, which has me a little bit interested in it because I love gothic fiction. But aside from that, it's not particularly standing out. But this one is The Gilded Crown by Marianne Gordon. It is the first book in a series, I think, this one. It's Harper Voyager, which is good. It means it's an adult book. But the front says, "Every life comes at a price." I will overlay the original cover over the top so you guys can see the difference. I think that the original one is black, whereas this one's red. It has a patterned stenciled edge and potentially custom end pages. They do match the edging on here. Under the dust jacket there is some red foiling, and with all of the Locked Libraries it does have a ribbon bookmark, also a big white patch on the pages that's a really weird spot to have missed when spraying. But the synopsis of this one is book one. I always forget that when I film in front of the Christmas tree the light is pointed on me, so I can't read synopses, so this is gonna be fun. Book 1 in the Raven's Trade series. The first time Helivia visited death, she was 10 years old. Since she was a little girl, Helivia has been able to raise the dead. Every creature can be saved for a price demanded by the shrouded figure who rules the afterlife, who takes a little more from Helivia with each soul she resurrects. Such a gift can rarely remain a secret. When Princess Sullivane, sole heir to the kingdom's throne, is assassinated, the queen summons Helivia to demand she bring her daughter back to life. But once is not enough. The killers might strike again. The princess's death could cause a civil war, so the queen commands that Helivia remain by her side. But Sullivane is no easy woman to be bound to, even as Helivia begins to fall in love with her. With the threat of war looming, Helivia must trade more and more of herself to keep the princess alive, and death will always take what he is owed. Sounds interesting, a little bit like Belladonna. Like, that first paragraph reminded me a lot of Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Obviously this is going to contain a sapphic romance as well. I am interested in the whole concept of death, and I do love some royalty in my fantasy, so potentially one that I'm going to enjoy. Next up we'll do the monthly Illumicrate first, and then the special edition. Oh, I remember. So the book in this one, I can't remember what the theme is, but the book is Starling House by, is it Alex E. Harrow? And that is a book that I swear people had arcs of in like February this year, so I thought it was released in like the summer. And when I saw the theme on the back of last month's Illumicrate, it was very obviously like similar to the cover of Starling House. I was convinced that that book was already released. I'm really excited to see Illumicrate's edition though, because Alex E. Harrow, like the synopsis of Alex E. Harrow's books, I don't think I'm going to love them, but I think Starling House is a little bit more on the gothic side. But the theme for this month is anti-hero, which is already speaking my language, but the spoilers will be here if you would like to pause and take a look. Sorry about the glare on there. The theme for December is in the stars, with items inspired by the theme of fate and destiny, including The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Violet Made of Thorns, and Light from Uncommon Stars. I don't even think I know what Light from Uncommon Stars is. So going into the box blind, we have, is this one of the mugs? It looks like a sci-fi one. The theme of the mug is intermission. This is the design. I don't know what this is, but I want to guess at Murderbot. So let's see if I'm right. Oh my god, I am! That was such a good guess. It's just a sci-fi series that I know that Illumicrate really like, so I'm surprised that I got that. I do really like the Rosy Thorn mugs. I am going to have to draw the line somewhere though, because I have so many of them that they're actually becoming a problem. We also have a hanging ornament that is inspired by Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. Do you guys think I would like T. Kingfisher? Because I know a lot of my friends do, but it's not something, like, T. Kingfisher's not an author that I would ever assume that I would like, but just the variety of T. Kingfisher's books maybe makes me think there's at least something I could give a go. But this is the design on the ornament. I don't know where they are. There are a couple of Illumicrate ornaments already in the tree. Oh, are these bookends? Oh, Gideon the Ninth. This is interesting because I'm pretty sure that Fairyloot have just done, yeah, it was only a couple of months ago that Fairyloot did Gideon the Ninth bookends. We now have Illumicrate ones as well. I think, do I like these ones better? I think I do like these. Can you still see if I, yeah, if I double them up? I think I like these better because they're black. I think that the Fairyloot ones were white, but at the top here it says one flesh, one end, and it's the Locked Tomb. Like, the Gideon the Ninth series is called the Locked Tomb series. I read book 1 recently and I really want to get to book 2 because I enjoyed it so much. Our next item is not fabric-y, but not fabric-y either. Waterproof? That make it worse. Oh. I'm never gonna fold this back together. A bag? Oh, it's a big shopping bag. There we go. This one is inspired by the Stardust Thief. Is that one? Is it Chelsea Abdullah? I do really like the pattern on this, and this would be good. I would say any grocery shopping. I don't know if it fits thin, but I do like that it folds down really small. It's the kind of one that I would just like stuff in a bag to make sure I have it with me at all times. Not that that ever works, because obviously they get taken out of the bag and used, and then they end up back in the house and I'm out without a bag again. And then our last thing in here is the book. So I'm really excited because I know what the book is. I'm excited to see what Illumicrate have done with it. She's shiny. Oh, does it have, it's got a clear plastic jacket on it, hasn't it? It does! The glare's gonna be really bad on this. I will overlay the original cover so that you guys can see the difference. I love this edition. They did this with the Freya Mask books and I loved that as well. So it's got like a clear plastic cover on it that has the overlay of the birds on. And then underneath is a printed hardcover. There's just something about these plastic jackets that look so sophisticated. We also have custom end pages in here and a bound-in letter from the author, I think. Yes. So I don't know what this is about. It's been recommended to me. I think Leanne said that she thinks that I would like this one, but I don't know anything about it past that. I'm just taking Leanne's word for it. The synopsis says, step into Starling House if you dare. Nobody in Eden remembers when Starling House was built, but the town agrees it's best to let this ill-omened mansion and its last lonely heir go to hell. I'm already interested. Stories of the house's bad luck, like good china, have been passed down the generations. Opal knows better than to mess with haunted houses or brooding men, but when an opportunity to work there arises, the money might get her brother out of Eden. Starling House is uncanny and full of secrets. Just like Arthur, its heir. It also feels strangely, dangerously like something she's never had, a home. Yet Opal isn't the only one interested in the horrors and the wonders that lie buried beneath it. Sinister forces converge on Eden and Opal realizes that if she wants a home, she'll have to fight for it. Even if it involves digging up her family's ugly past to achieve a better future, she'll have to go down, deep down beneath Starling House to claw her way back to the light. Okay, I agree with Leanne. That does sound like something that I would find interesting. So hopefully, I say hopefully, I'll get to it soon. We know that I always say that, and we also know that soon is relative, but it's definitely one that I'm interested in, and I really like the Illumicrate edition. Did I show you guys the edges? I don't think I did, and they're like one of the best parts of this book. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite item from this Illumicrate box is. I think this is a decent box from Illumicrate. I wasn't blown away by any, but there is like solid items in here that we have had before. So bookends, always a solid item, always appreciated. Mugs, always a solid item, but there's nothing that kind of really made me go wow. So if I had to pick a favorite item, I would say that it's probably the bookends this time, because like I said, I've recently loved Gideon and really enjoyed it, and I mean, I'm always shoving books somewhere where I need more bookends. Next up for the Check and Mate special edition. I don't read a ton of YA anymore, and I especially don't read like YA contemporary, but I have the rest of Ali Hazelwood books in the Illumicrate editions. So I didn't want to run the risk of enjoying this and kind of regretting not getting it. So I just picked it up. I mean, it's Ali Hazelwood. If I'm going to read a YA contemporary romance from any author, it's probably going to be Ali Hazelwood. But this one is Check and Mate. The edges have these chess pieces on. All I know about it as well is that it is a chess romance. Under the dust, oh, that's cool. So I got the Ali Hazelwood box a couple of months ago, mainly because it came with custom dust jackets for the Ali Hazelwood Illumicrate editions, and this one has come with the like a cover that matches the others on the reverse of the dust jacket, so you can just flip it round, which is really clever. And I wish that the foiling on this one matched the foiling on the other editions, but this one has the chess pieces and a quote which says, "I see the way you look at the pieces, it's your world, isn't it? The one you choose for yourself, well within your boundaries. You can be the queen in it, the king, the knight, whatever you want." The synopsis on this one says, Mallory Greenleaf is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier, Mallory's focus is on her mom, her sisters, and the dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is, until she begrudgingly agrees to play in one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with notorious king killer Nolan Sawyer, current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shocks everyone. What's even more confusing, his desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over. But Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the enigmatic strategist. As she rockets up the ranks, Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked it in the first place. And as her love for the sport she so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, Mallory quickly realizes that the games aren't only on the board. The spotlight is brighter than she imagined, and the competition can be fiercely attractive and intelligent and infuriating. Sounds cute. I think I have heard really good reviews of this one. I don't expect to like it necessarily as much as I love the rest of Ali Hazelwood's books, but I still think I'm going to enjoy it because it's still Ali Hazelwood, you know. So moving into the November adult Fairyloot, I believe that this one is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, which is good because I did want a copy of this, so I'm glad that it's in one of my subscriptions. This edition, I have been spoiled because at the point of filming this, Fairyloot have already started their read along of this book. So I've seen the cover. I don't love it. This book has like a very strong cover to start off with, which I think doesn't help, but it has people on the cover, and I don't, if it's a romance like this, I like. If it's fantasy or fantasy romance, I don't love people on the cover. But this one is the Fairyloot edition. I do really like the art style. I'll overlay the cover over the top, the original cover, so that you guys can see the difference. I just really like the original cover, and I don't love people on the cover of books, but I really like the art style of it and the color palette. I like how it matches the actual like standard cover of the book. See, I really love the end papers. Like, yeah, they're different at the back. I didn't know that. Oh no, I did. I was gonna say I didn't know that there were two male main characters, but I did know that because one of them is the sword catcher for the prince, so the prince is also a character. This one also has, I think my favorite thing about this edition is the edges. This one, oh my god, I can actually give you a synopsis of this one. I know what this one's about. Do I though? Actually, no, I don't. I know that the main character is the sword catcher for a prince, and I know that the female main character practices like a forbidden type of magic, but we'll go with the dust jacket. Two outcasts have the power to change everything, but will they grasp the hand of destiny? In the vibrant city-state of Castellane, nobles and criminals have one thing in common: the constant search for wealth, power, and the next hedonistic thrill. Yet as an impoverished orphan, Kel's prospects look bleak until he's stolen from his old life to enter a new one of luxury and peril. He's to become Prince Connor Aurelian's body double, shielding the prince from all dangers. As his sword catcher, he and Connor will become as close as brothers, yet Kel lives for one purpose: to die for Connor. Lincaster is an Ashkari physician, part of a community ostracized for its rare magical abilities, but after a failed assassination attempt brings her and Kel together, they are drawn into the web of the mysterious Ragpicker King, ruler of Castellane's criminal underworld. He offers each of them what they want most, but as Lynn and Kel sink deeper into his world, they uncover an extraordinary conspiracy. As long-kept secrets unravel, they must ask themselves, can forbidden love bring down a kingdom? And will their discoveries plunge their nation into war and the world into chaos? So I'm kind of excited for this, you know. I really like Cassandra Clare's books. I've had issues with Cassandra Clare in general. Like in the past, I'm not a big Cassandra Clare super fan or anything, but I do believe that she writes really compelling stories with characters that you can't help but root for that are compulsively readable. And I love that about her books, even though, like I said, I'm not the biggest like Cassandra Clare fan. So really excited about that, and I do like this edition. Just personally, I don't love people on the cover outside of contemporary romance, which is like a personal preference thing, I guess. And then finally, the YA Fairyloot. I know what this book is, actually. I can't remember the name of the book, but it's by Kylie Lee Baker, and I have a different book by Kylie Lee Baker that I got from Book of the Month, I think last year. And this one I saw in Waterstones. I didn't know Kylie Lee Baker had new stuff out, so I thought it was related, but I think it's like either a standalone or the start to a new series. Oh, well, this just popped right out of there. I'm gonna try and find spoiler card. There it is. So the theme for this month is Alchemy of Us, and here are the spoilers if you guys want to pause and take a look. I'm going in blind. So this thing that popped right out at me, is it like just like a hanging like storage thing? It says alchemy draws on the tag. This one I think is inspired by the Book of the Month. I think this is a really cool idea. I like it when Fairyloot or like subscription boxes are currently like trying to bring items that haven't been seen in boxes before. I don't love the color palette and design on this just because it doesn't fit the color palette of like anything in my house in general, but I really like the like item, and I'll probably hang it like inside my wardrobe or something to like pop little bits in. Next up we got this little box. Okay, this is exciting. It's a calendar for 2024, but it's not just any calendar. It's a World of Sarah J Maas calendar. I'm interested in what type of calendar this is, with it being like in a little box. Okay, am I in? I'm in. Ooh. This is cool. So these are like character cards. And there's also the stand to put them in. This is a cool way of doing it, to be fair. My only, like the only flaw with this is that you can only put like one card in at once. And I know that I'm gonna lose these just because of the type of person that I am. Like it would be better if they were bound together somehow, but is it just the full character art on the back? It is. Okay, so we have Rowan, Aelin, Dorian, Manon, oh, Rhysand, Farah, Cassian, Azriel, oh, Danica, where's Nesta, man? Oh, Haroon, Bryce, and Hunt. I really appreciate that we have character art as well with this, as well as it being like a functional item, and then the actual full art's printed on the back, so you have like a non-calendar version. The next item is, oh, it's a hidden book. This is Collection of Magical Tomes Volume 3. Advanced Alchemy, which fits the theme very well. And these are just like empty books that you can obviously store things in, but they look really nice like when they're on a shelf. I tend to put like my art cards and stuff from subscription boxes in here, and I have like one of the sets of tarot cards and stuff like that in here, so they do come in handy and I do really like how they look. We also have a lanyard, and I think we have, yeah, we have this ID case to go with it. So this would be a pretty cool idea for people who have like a student ID. They're inspired by The Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. I don't see me personally having use for this because the only ID I have is like my driver's license, which I'm not going to carry around my neck. But for people who have like student IDs and stuff that they have to carry around with them all the time, this is a really cool idea. Just before we get to the book of the month, we have the tarot cards for this month. In every Fairyloot you get 2 tarot cards, and when you have like so many Fairyloots it makes a full deck of tarot. The ones for this month are the 6 and the 5 of Moons, and they are, I think, the main characters from the Chloe Gong series. Is it this Violent Delight? It's the Romeo and Juliet one. I think they're inspired by those characters. And then finally the book of the month. Oh, the edges on this are real pretty. In the bag we also have a letter from the author on the back of an art card, the monthly fairy scoop, and the monthly bookmark with the theme card art on. And the book of the month is this one is The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker. I will overlay the original cover over the top so you guys can see the difference. So this one is a complete like exclusive Fairyloot edition, much nicer than the original cover, which is just like a photo of a person. The end papers in here are also exclusive to the Fairyloot edition, with them being different on both sides. We also have a laser printed edge that's quite intricate, and the naked hardcover has some foiling. I have no idea what this one is about, so we shall read the synopsis. Oh, it's like historical as well, I think, actually, because I've just seen an author's note about China's Tang dynasty, so that's cool. So the synopsis says, the principal rule of alchemy: you cannot create good without also creating evil. Zillan dreams of becoming a royal alchemist, escaping her impoverished village in southern China to make alchemical gold for the wealthy so they can stay young forever. But for now she scrapes a living practicing an illegal form of alchemy, resurrecting the dead for a price. When Zillan is offered the chance to travel to the capital and complete the imperial exams, facing a series of dangerous tasks that she'll be lucky to survive, let alone pass. I just realized it's probably like Jilan. The closer Jilan gets to her goal, the more she is caught in the deadly games of the royal family, especially when the crown prince seeks her help, suspecting a coming assassination attempt. But there are monsters lurking within the palace walls, and it's only a matter of time before they and secrets of Jilan's past catch up with her. A stunning young adult fantasy set in an alternate Tang dynasty China from the author of Keeper at Night. There's nothing in the synopsis that's like grabbing me, but it's not like putting me off either, so I will definitely give it a try. It's like quite a heavy book considering it's just like standard length as well, but I do really like the Fairyloot edition. So down in the comments, let me know what your favorite item from this month's Fairyloot is. I think for me this is a pretty decent box from Fairyloot. I like that some of the items are outside of like your typical outside of Nom, but I don't think it's one of Fairyloot's best that I've received. But my favorite item definitely is the Sarah J Maas calendar, which I think you guys could have predicted. I just really like that it's a calendar, but also you have the art on the other side, so you can just like use them as art cards. So that was all of my subscription boxes for November. Once again, a very pretty stack of special editions. We will do the spin around. Oh, the sword catcher ones are upside down when the book is the right way around. Is that intentional? Because I know in the, like on the actual cover, there's a city at the top and like a parallel one at the bottom. I do feel like they should be the right way up, unless it's representative of whatever the parallel represents on the cover of like the actual book. But let me know what your favorite edition out of this stack is. For me, it is definitely the Illumicrate edition of Starling House, which is absolutely stunning. And I think of all of these synopses that we've read today, this is the one that I'm most intrigued by. Once again, a big thank you to Illumicrate and Fairyloot for sending me boxes to open and show to you guys in this video. If you would like to get your hands on any of these boxes after watching this video, in my description box you will find a link to all of their social media and their websites, as well as any discount codes if I have any. But aside from that, guys, please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish Candle website, the Etsy for that, and a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you're go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.